Hey Sagittarius, welcome to your weekly reading for the 8th of August until the 15th. I hope you guys are doing fantastic today. Let's get right into it. Let's pull some Lenormand. So I hope you guys are hanging in with Mars in that 5th house energy of yours, squaring up Jupiter, Pluto, and Saturn in that 2nd house. So yeah, I mean, this is something you guys are dealing with. You have a lot of fire in your belly to be creative, to go out and find a relationship, to enjoy something with your children, to start a business, right? That's all those beautiful 5th house energies. 5th house rules love affairs, romance, boyfriend, girlfriend relationships, what we do with our partner on a Monday through Sunday basis, our children, our entrepreneurial efforts, our hobbies, even gambling, right? Feeling a lot of fire in your belly to actually want to get out and do that, right? Because you have Mars in there. Mars is not retrograde yet until September 9th. But so right now it's like, I want to go, but you have this square that's kind of holding you back in the 2nd house of resource. It's like, yeah, I'd love to go out there and meet somebody new, but I don't really have the money right now. Or you might not be feeling really good about yourself right now for some reason. As when we have squares to the 2nd house, that could be a little ding to our ego. We might not be feeling as fully confident as we normally would. That's that 2nd house energy. You might want to be doing something with your children or with your lover or just some sort of hobby, but maybe you don't have the resources, right? Because that 2nd house is things that we value, right? And it has to do with money. It has to do with, again, our connection between our ego and our physical self. So, some of you guys might not be feeling really good about yourself right now. There might be this kind of squaring energy there having to do with that. But there's this tension there. Now, once Mercury goes retrograde, Mars goes retrograde on September 9th to the middle of November, there's going to be more of an inward sort of like, let it ride and let me see. I need to keep pulling because we have the clouds here. I'm talking and pulling. All right. Need one more. Where's the ship going? Okay. A woman is looking at the ship very patiently. Okay, so this is Lenormand, remember, so Lenormand is different than Tarot. It's a different system. So we acknowledge them individually and do a final interpretation as one cohesive message. So we have the well. So the well is you needing to get in touch with what it is that you really, really want, even if you think you know what you want. Even if you think you know what you can do right now, you're not looking at everything. You have to go even deeper. That's what this message is. Go to the bottom of the well. You might think you're there, because it's dark down there, right? But there's even a little deeper to go. Now, let's talk about the lilies for a moment. This can indicate some sort of ancestry. So this can indicate an older relative who is living or has passed over. So this could be the energy of our ancestors living or on the other side. This could also indicate a long-term relationship, but there's wisdom in this. There's a lot of wisdom. There is something that's being imparted upon you as far as what it is that you really, really want, that's creating a little stress in your life, having to do with this long-term relationship, having to do with maybe there's a parent who's sick, maybe there is someone who's recently passed away, or this could just have to do with you really wanting to get in touch with what it is that you really want, and you having these very intuitive dreams, these very serendipitous things happening to you where you're very much feeling loved ones who have crossed over and you're feeling them around you. This could also be maybe advice from a parent though as well, anybody who is older than you. So again, it does indicate age, wisdom, caring, love, safety, all of that, but it does indicate that there are some struggles in this. So this could indicate struggles in a long-term relationship, struggles with an aging parent, struggles with somebody who's older than you within your family. Any sort of older relationship that you're dealing with that you have on your heart, you'll know what I'm talking about. Even though this is a general message, guys, remember that, right? It's not going to apply to all of you. That would be silly, right? It's a general platform, right? But whatever that relationship is, we have some clouds here, which indicates some challenge, but then we have it going into the sun with the birds, which is very, very positive. So I see while there is challenge, there is this positive. We have to look at where is the sun facing? The sun is facing the bear. This has to do with stability, finances, things that make us feel safe and nurtured, right? It has to do with mother. Think about like fourth house Cancer energy, right? With the polar bear. That's what this is. So there's going to be this lightening up, right? This illumination too. Finances, resources, what you need. This could also indicate that, you know, if you have maybe a mom who's sick, she gets better as well. This could also be indicative of that, okay, for many of you. Now we have the ship. So the ship is about moving forward. This is primarily indicated for business trips where you're actually like packing a suitcase and having to go. But this, you know, in the world of COVID, we have to adapt. So this can indicate some sort of business deal moving forward, papers being signed, but this can indicate moving on in general into the next phase of your life. Now, if you're a female and you're listening to this woman is you. And the rose indicates the mystery that needs to be looked at, considered, felt, and experienced as a result of all of this. So this is beautiful. It's like, because I feel like there is some kind of new cycle opening up that you're going to be discovering. If you are a female, if you are a female in a same-sex relationship, this could be a partner, okay, where your partner might be looking at some sort of situation that is creating some sort of transition in the life, having to do with resources, foundation, something to do with ancestry, okay? If you are a man, this could be your partner, a female partner. Or it could be a prominent female in your life, okay? This is different than tarot in that tarot, king, queen, whatever, is not gender specific. In Lenormand, it is. So this could be a sister. This could even be a mother. This could be an ancestor who has passed on to the other side, who's sort of looking over your journey. And you're going to know what I mean if that resonates with you. Somebody looking over your journey. So if it's you, if you are a female Sagittarius, this is you looking at this transition, right? And saying, okay, you know what? I'm ready for it. I mean, truly ready for it. This is not you looking at the past. This is you looking at the change and you allowing that to happen for yourself. So I feel like you're very ready for it, particularly with Mars in the 5th. I mean, you're just very ready. But there's that, again, that squaring energy having to do with your resources. But then we have the polar bear, which indicates resources going well. So I think that is a good, so let's pull the cards. Let's see what's going on. You know, I do like, I like the Uranus turning retrograde on the 15th, I have to tell you. This is going to be a season of just like this more conservative approach in pursuing our goals. You know, well, Uranus is retrograde until the middle of January. A desire to make changes in our lives can be turned inward as we get in touch with what might be holding us back, right? From living a more spontaneous an authentic life, right? This is definitely a less rebellious time. Like, you're not even going to fight against the reality of what's going on. At least when it comes to appearances, as I've been saying, you seem to be following the rules, doing what you need to do. Anyway, you guys are Sagittarius, of course you do. But with Mars turning retrograde on the September 9th, you're going to be taking things more slowly and going inward. And I like that because that's a really good practical way of approaching change of what's going on here. You know, this with Saturn forming that quintile on the 12th. Yeah, I mean, we just have this new kind of innovation to move our life forward here. Queen of Swords, good. And we'll pull an astro card for the astro dice in a moment. We have the 8 of Pentacles. I'll pull them up as I read them, okay? Ace of Cups is a foundation. Ooh, 9 of Cups. Da-da. Be single, meeting somebody new. Perhaps 8 of Cups. Ooh. Yep. Leaving that toxicity behind. Ooh, Tower. Yes, but then we have Magician. Okay, Sagittarius. All right, let's throw. Astro dice. We have Libra, good, focused on fairness. Libra's that 7th house of marriage and business partnerships. And it's about like, what's equitable? What's fair, right? Because it's ruled by Venus. Venus is a money planet. It's got to do with love. It has to do with self-worth. Do I like how I feel in this situation? Are they bringing as much to the table as I am? Is everybody, is it fair? Is it fair and square all around here? Then we have the North Node, need to learn something different. North Node is in Gemini. Gemini is at 3rd house. It is the student. It has to do with short distance travel. It has to do with learning, curriculum. It can be teaching as well. It's all about communication, online communication as well. Doesn't rule technology, that's Uranus, but the communication online with groups. As well. So you might be tapping into that. But this is a learning energy, right? North Node is all about learning and being the student. So, taking that workshop, taking that webinar, whatever it is, that you're going to need to learn something new, like a new skill set, a new way of looking or handling something that's going to end up being much better for you. Oh, and then we have the 12th house. So the 12th house is a very spiritual house. It's your relationship with things that are hidden, establishments that are hidden, like ashrams, religious institutions, any sort of institution. This is also where our self-sabotaging behaviors hang out, any sort of addictions we might have. Doesn't have to be to a substance, right? Addictions could be, anything where there's imbalance, right? And we all have that in one way or another, right? And you getting in touch with this, you getting in touch with your spirituality in the biggest way. Spirituality is different than your belief system, right? Because you guys are the landlord of the 9th house, which is all about our belief system, our religious dogma, and all of that. 12th house is more about, having to do with the occult, spirituality, kind of like what we're doing here. Okay, so you perhaps really learning something new, really seeking answers more in spiritual energies as direction, kind of like what we're doing here. Very interesting. All right, we have Gemini. Gemini is all about learning. Yeah, 3rd house energy. Communicating, thinking. You're going to have your thinking cap on. You're going to be all about problem solving right now, trying to figure it all out. So we have the Knight of Cups energy coming into this energy here, Aquarius and Pisces. Yeah, so, Pisces is, again, the 12th house energy. It's also where our dreams hang out, right? This 12th house. It's a lot of things, right? But it's where our dreams hang out. And being a card that's associated with Aquarius and Pisces, it indicates that there's something different happening in what you really want. And in your dreams, Aquarius is about, what are you doing? We're going to do something different. It's quirky. It's out of the box. It's a different approach. So this can indicate you meeting somebody different, new, okay? If that resonates, if you're resonating with this as far as relationship, you having met somebody new in the past that was very different, very unique from anyone that you were ever with. This could be if you're in a relationship already, where it's a long term, you guys approaching what it is that you're going after in this relationship from a new perspective. Maybe you guys were in a weird space and you were trying to find each other again, but you were taking a different approach. If this has to do with career, this can indicate you really dreaming about a new job and just feeling like, what, I need new. I'm not happy doing what I'm doing. And a lot of you guys are going to be very, again, in that 5th house energy with Mars, like, getting very in touch with what it is that you really want, because that's very important to you. I mean, you say it's important to everyone, but there are certain signs that, like, because Sag, you guys are all about like belief system and moral code and moral compass and connecting with different cultures, by the way, too. So having to do with that Aquarius energy, somebody different and unique. That's something that speaks to you as well, because you very much resonate with people from other cultures. You're all about travel. You're all about going out and having a good time, right? Because you guys are ruled by Jupiter. It's like, come on, let's go, But you can't do something that you don't believe in. So if you're doing something that you really don't believe in, it is so challenging for you to stick around for it. You'll do it, but it's not comfortable for you. So the foundation right now, we have the Queen of Swords. So the Queen of Swords is Virgo and Libra energy. Virgo's very pragmatic, very practical, problem solvers of the zodiac. And Libra having to do with that 7th house of relationships or partnerships. So you could be in this space of, we do have Libra here. Okay, you could be in the space of, okay, how fair is this business arrangement? How fair am I being treated in this job? How, where you have a shared soul purpose with people. How fair is this relationship rolling out? and it's being really honest about it. You know, how well do I feel loved in this connection? Is the communication healthy? What is the intimacy like? Is everybody bringing the equitable amount to the table, as I mentioned before? And this is being crossed by the King of Swords. So we have the Queen of Swords crossed by the King of Swords. Okay. So the King of Swords, Capricorn and Aquarius, it's needing to put the work in to do something different. So what I'm getting is that there was something, if this has to do with a relationship, there was something that's been, you know, less than equitable in the connection. And whether it doesn't even have to do with finances, guys, it might, but it could also be like, why am I the one doing all the communicating? Why am I the one doing, you know, either you're feeling this way or the person that you're dealing with. This could also be with business connections, right? Where, man, that's always a tricky part, right? When you have a business partner, it's like, you know, the delegated duties and who ends up doing more, but having the conversation, now, that's the general vibe of the King of Swords energy. Because it's a core card, it could be you, an outside person to you, or just a general energetic influence. So as a general energetic influence, it is just this. It's this understanding that we need to work differently, right? You need to get another job, or if you're in something, it needs to be handled differently, right? This is just what you're realizing. That is the reality of the situation. If this is a person coming in and saying, we need to do things differently in this relationship, in this family situation, this connection, whatever it is. Okay, crowning energy, we have the Eight of Pentacles. So the Eight of Pentacles is a sun in Virgo. So you have basically you have all the tools that you need in order to make something happen, but you need to approach everything from a very critical perspective, because Virgo, again, is very critical, not only of others and situations, but of themselves as well. And it's a problem-solving energy. So there's some sort of situation where something needs to be balanced out, and you're going to be able to do it. This is like, the money's going to be there. The money's going to be coming in. It might be you might need to switch it around a little bit. You might need to make certain concessions in certain areas of your life, you know, all of that. But it's not a bad energy, guys, at all. It's you're going in the right direction. The Eight is good. I call it the apprentice energy, right? It's where it's like you're putting in the hard work, you are making the money, you haven't arrived yet, you're making do, it's good, it's going in the right direction, okay? But we have that as the crowning energy and the foundation. We have the Ace of Cups, so this could be a new job, this could be a new relationship. So for some of you, you may be in this space where you're needing to figure out what's equitable, what's not, and really getting in touch with what is this connection really like, you know? And if you're already in a relationship, really wanting to incite some sort of new beginning for yourself, because if things are not equitable, we have the King and the Queen, the King and the Queen of Swords. It's this attempt to work at something together. It's this attempt to start, you know, continue on something. But then we have the Ace of Cups, guys. I have to call it what it is. The Ace, it's different than a page energy. In other words, if you're in this relationship, if you're in this business connection, if you're in this friendship, whatever it is, and you guys are having conversations about things not going really well, and you really can't quite put your exact finger on it, or your finger exactly on what it is, Ace of Cups can indicate somebody new coming in as far as relationship goes, a new job coming in, having to do with career, some sort of new circumstance coming in to pull you away from a friendship or that family connection where you're loving them from a distance, because then we have you here as the Eight of Cups. And the Eight of Cups is walking away from something that's toxic to something that's much healthier for you, right? Saturn and Pisces. So Saturn is about no, and it's about restriction, and it's about delay, and it's about karma, and it's thick and heavy. I call it a thick and heavy, right? And it's in Pisces, and Pisces is your dreams, what it is that you really want for that relationship, for that job. Whatever it is, it became way too heavy. You couldn't do it anymore. You just couldn't. Not the way it was. It's a minor arcana, but you needed to leave something. Now, this is what I always say with this energy, though. First of all, many of you may have checked out already. You might have been trying to give it a go, but it wasn't working. Now, I do want to say something here. This King of Cups could have been an energy that you've met in the past that you're now wanting to start a new relationship with. And this could have been the relationship that you were in right here. Okay, this Knight of Cups could have also been a new job opportunity or the idea. Something came in that was really speaking to you, different than what you were doing. Even though you were trying to like make your job work, you're like, you know what, I gotta go. I gotta go. And that is the Eight of Cups energy, is I have to go. And some of you may have gone already, you may have checked out already emotionally. But and you're walking away from this with sadness but not regret. And the thing is, you need to handle this with grace and dignity. Otherwise, you're going to generate the thing. Funny, the eight's a very powerful energy, right? It's a very powerful number. So you want to be careful of not creating any sort of negative karma for yourself. So if you're leaving that relationship, like, don't ghost them. That's not going to bode well for you moving forward. You know, have an open, honest conversation. You know, try not to have a blow up argument and then just like quit your job, or just cut that business partnership off, or tell that family member where to go, and to never revisit it. Because first of all, any arguments that we're having in this energy, once Mars goes retrograde in September, we're going to be like, oh, wow, maybe I didn't handle that right. Or wow, maybe they didn't handle that right. And it's like, wow, that was so silly. Like, why did I do that? You know, kind of thing. Not that you're going to feel regret, but you don't want to be in the position where you're like, oh, you know what, I could have handled that differently. Somebody external to you is very confused. As the Seven of Cups is a card of confusion, there's transformation happening here, right? It's Venus and Scorpio, but it's like, now what? Scorpio is ruled by Pluto. It's about the ending of something and the simultaneous beginning of something. So for some of you, you may be dealing with an energy, and guys, I do want to say, all of these energies could be vice versa. It's a general message on YouTube, right? Just so please take it for what it really is. This is not a private reading. So the Seven of Cups is this confusion of knowing what's in Five of the Cups but not knowing what's in Two. And there's always a danger in that, because part of the human condition is filling in. When we don't have all of the parts to a story or a situation, we tend to fill it in with what we think and we assume, you know, might be going on. But I feel like you're dealing with somebody who's very confused, a business partner, an intimate connection, a family member, a friend. There's somebody external to you that's very confused. They're in a space of knowing that they have a lot of choices, but the thing is, it's like there is this lack of ability to see the reality of the situation. They're not seeing something that's very obvious that's going on within this connection. They're not wanting to really see this moving away. They're not really wanting to see that. Okay, that's going to resonate with some of you. Others of you, this could be an energy or a job that you're now moving into, right? Because you're moving away from toxicity, but that external energy is not quite sure. What is this relationship going to be like? I don't know. You might be dealing with an energy who has other choices. If this is like a new connection as far as relationship, if this has to do with a job, they might have a lot of choices when it comes to employees or partners. They're confused though. There's no malice involved in this. It's just that there's a lot of choice involved and they're not sure. So they're not sure of something. So that could just be that energy. Again, it's not a bad energy. It's just a little lack of clarity. Your fear is the King of Cups. So the King of Cups is Libra and Scorpio. So you're afraid of this transition. Is it going to be equitable? Is it going to be fair? Am I going to be happy? Is this going to be good? Is this going to be a good thing? Is it going to be a good relationship? You're afraid of the change here. And I mean, that makes sense, right? Well, because hello, look what we have coming up next. The shades go up, the lights go on, something becomes illuminated, and something comes down. Now this, I want to say, this does not mean that all of your relationships are ending or that you're losing jobs or anything like that. The Tower can be very internal. It's a Mars energy. It's all about Mars as the star right now. In astrology, it's connected to Mars, which is connected to the Chariot, which is meant to pull us away from something toxic so that it brings us on the path that we're meant to go on. This is a gift. And this can be an internal illumination having to do with how you've been perceiving something, your thought process, how you've been approaching something. And you need to update how it is you're thinking. Some of you are going to resonate with that. Others of you, this can be literally the ending of a relationship or the ending of a business partnership, the ending of a family connection in which you're needing to love somebody from a distance, and even a friendship. But it's necessary because whatever this is, it wasn't meant for you. And I know that's really hard when you're in the throes of trying to deal with a painful a painful outcome. You don't want to hear that. Oh, it's for your bad. Yeah, shut up, right? Right. I know. I know. But this is the kind of energy where you reflect later on and you say, all right, that was completely necessary, right? Whatever it is that needs, that became illuminated, and it's like out of nowhere. It's out of nowhere. So, I'm actually doing this reading on August 3rd, the day of the full moon in Aquarius. And a lot of us are going to be having epiphanies and a lot of things going on, like out of nowhere, things hitting us out of nowhere in our mental space. So you may be resonating with it like that as well. And then we have the Magician as the near future. So, listen, I love this card for a number of reasons, but because it's powerful, it's an alchemy card, right? It's an alchemical process. And what is it an alchemical process of? Well, it's Mercury. Mercury rules two things, two particular houses, the 3rd and the 6th. The 3rd is Gemini, needing to learn something. The 6th house has to do with your everyday. It's a Virgo energy. It has to do with your health, right? So this could have to do with you knowing you need to learn something different in order to make your everyday a lot more beautiful. It means learning a new approach, learning a new way to communicate, learning something new that's going to help improve your job, your day-to-day work environment, learning something new that's going to decrease your anxiety, improve your depression, or help alleviate your depression, increase your physical health, whatever it is. The alchemical process is the understanding here with the Magician is that there's going to be learning, communication to help improve your day-to-day experience, your day-to-day work environment, your day-to-day health. Could even be a day-to-day situation going on with your pets, because the 6th house is also pets. It has to do with the Magician energy as well. So there is this coming down of a thought process, coming down of a relationship, this breaking down of a job, but then there's a learning a new approach and it impacting positively your day-to-day experience. So whatever it is that's not working at this time, Sag, it's not meant to work. Going back to Lenormand, we have the storm, but then we have the light that's going to end up positively inflecting your finances, your stability, your foundation, and it's moving you into a new cycle in your life. So while I feel like whatever it is that needs to be released is going to be a challenge, because the Tower is never easy. And the thing is, there's always a history to the Tower, and we might even know intuitively what's going on, but it's still a shock when it happens. It's very interesting how that happens, right? Okay, so let's pull some extra cards for love, for those of you resonating with love, because love did win in the survey. I ran a poll. I asked, what do you guys want extra on? The extra portion at the end. And love came in at 44%, astrology at 22%, and career at 30%. So try to give a little bit of everything. It is only a weekly reading. I try my best. To not have us here all day on these videos. Okay. Okay, so let's pull some good tarot first. 9 of Fire. Okay, 9 of Fire. A little fire in your belly here. 4 of Water. That's like getting your ducks in a row is the 9 of Fire. This has to do with relationships. Let's just see what comes up. Ace of Air. I feel like I need another card. I've only been pulling 3 on everyone, but I feel like we need another one because this is a little tenuous here. It's not bad, but then we have Ace of Air, which is like a new way of thinking, which is good because we got the Tower. Okay, good. Oh, Page of Water. Okay, good. Page of Water. Good. Okay. All right. So 9 of Fire is getting your ducks in a row. You know, it's a wand energy. So it's before the 10 of Wands. It's the 9 of Wands. Now, if you don't keep your wands, you know, upright and in a row, and you're trying to hold it together, and you still have a lot of fire in your belly for this relationship, you still have a lot of fire in your belly to give relationship a chance at all, even though you might have gone through hell and back in relationships and you have the bumps and bruises to prove it, you still have fire in your belly to move forward in something. But we have the Four of Water energy, and the Four of Water is I call it the checklist card, where it's like, I can't stand that they do A, B, and C, and when they do D, E, and F, I just can't. They drive me crazy. It's, it's a turn off. It makes me feel bad. It hurts me, whatever it is. And it's this kind of state of disillusionment and disappointment because you're recognizing that something goes on in the relationship that you don't like. Now, that all may be true, but you need to look under that and really get in touch with when they do that thing and when they behave that way. What is the underlying emotion that it's poking at you? That it's poking in you? Because often this ends up showing up as an unhealed scar or something from unhealed from your childhood experience of relationships. Like maybe you never saw resolution in arguments between your parents, so it's very challenging for you to handle argument in a healthy way. You're not sure. You think you know, but you might not be totally sure. So when you argue with your partner, it really sends you into a very kind of like dark space. I'm just giving that as an example. It doesn't mean that that's what your story is, but you understand. So there is this need, there's an identification here of restlessness, of knowing that something, is really bothering you. But it's like more like, I just don't like when they do that kind of thing, right? The Four is a young energy, the Four of Cups energy, meaning emotionally. Then we have the Ace of Air. So the Ace of Air is the Ace of Swords. So some sort of ace is brand new. Some sort of new information coming in, a new perspective, some sort of new way of looking at something. And then we have Page. Page is the youngin of the court, does typically indicate a new cycle. Okay, so this is nice. A new cycle coming in, having to do with emotions. So I feel like there is this working through of stuff. I like this for those of you who are in a space of trying to get your relationship back on track, trying to work through a challenging cycle. For those of you who are single, this is, oh my God, I've been through so much in relationships, I don't know if I could do any more. And you saying, I can't be with somebody if they do A, B, and C. I might not know everything that I want, but I definitely know what I don't want. And having a very definitive list for yourself, and you want to be careful of that. You do want to be careful of that because you can end up energetically blocking yourself from really good experiences that way. And I feel like you're going to be coming to terms with that. There's going to be a new mental approach to relationship, and as soon as you adopt that, you're going to meet somebody new, somebody coming in has a young, spritey spirit about them. Spritey, I sound like an old lady. Spritey, but you know what I mean? Like where their soul is like young and fun and funny, and they're really into expressing themselves a really great way. The only thing is they could be a little emotionally immature, so just grant them a little grace because they might not know. All right, when you pass from this world, you take nothing with you but your soul and the memories you have shared with those you love. That's what it's about, right? We can't take our toys to our grave with us, right, Sag? Romance, Cupid's arrow strikes. Nice. Beware of what you're projecting, for the qualities you admire in one another are qualities you both possess. Equally so, the qualities you don't like are also your own reflection. Guys, that's another interpretation for the Four of Water. Yes. So if you're identifying something in your partner that you really don't like, you have to see like, oh man, do I maybe do that too in one way or another? It's not a comfortable thing to look at. And some of you guys be like, hell no, I don't do A, B, and C. This may not be your message, but I do feel like this is very positive because I feel this Ace of Air. I'm liking that. I am liking that. See what kind of situation we have going on here. Interesting. We have the wedding rings, the runner, and girl talk. So we have wedding rings, right? Wedding, union. It doesn't, this could be just like that level of relationship. It doesn't, not everybody's into the whole, marriage contract thing, but you can certainly be that level of serious, right? Soul connection, eternal love, everlasting promise. And we have the runner in a codependent relationship. Fear of intimacy, listening to ego. So are you dealing with somebody where maybe the Four of Water is like, what is up with this dude? Like, he's immature. What is up with this girl? Why is she like a child in this way, right? That could be what you're not resonating with. Well, what does that make you feel under that? If they keep running away from you, it makes you feel unwanted. It's not the act of them running away that's the issue so much for you personally. It's what it ends up triggering in you. It makes you feel discounted, like you don't matter at the end of the day, right? That's the stuff that you need to look at, because that's the stuff that when you guys have this new communication here, you need to say, it's not, you can't say, it's messed up that you do that and it's not fair and, whatever. It's, do you understand that you're damaging me and the relationship every time you run away? It creates a scar, and that scar grows bigger each time it happens, and that becomes very challenging to heal after a while. Do you understand that? If somebody keeps running away, and then you end up back in this cycle where you forgive, or you might be the runner and they keep forgiving you, whatever it is. Every time somebody runs away, it creates a new scar. It's damaging, right? So this needs to be part of the conversation, not that you understand how messed up that is when you do that? Yeah, it's messed up, but that's not what you should be talking about. You should be talking about what is it doing as far as damaging you and the relationship and the connection from being healthy. And I feel like a lot of you guys are just, here we go. Time of friends, moving on, happily single, living in the moment, having fun. Listen, some of you guys may be in a space where you're just like, I can't deal with this. This is what you were dealing with, okay, on a deeper level here. Saying you can't deal with this anymore. So maybe there was a separation here, but you still have fire in your belly for that person, but you're very front and center with what it is with that checklist that you don't like that they did. And there has to be a new form of communication for there to be a new cycle. And I feel like, it does seem like that is possible here. But listen, if they were a narcissist or whatever, guys, general message, leave them in your rearview mirror. If they keep running and they can't get in touch with their own demons as to why they do that, find out about their nodal energies. Because honestly, Sag, I'm going to tell you the truth. Sagittarius, South Node energies with North Node Gemini, which is exactly where we're at right now, that is definitely like a runner energy for sure. Our nodal energies really do make up how we handle our life. They are super important to understand. Not only your placement, but also the house, because that gives it its personality. So particularly if somebody has like a Sag South and a South node in like the 5th or the 7th house, that's definitely going to be a situation if either your own energies or their energies, because it's good to understand ourselves. Like, why do we feel, moved to do certain things and react in certain ways? Okay. Oh man, more wand energy. Putting the wands. So the Eight of Pentacles is like, really dedicating yourself to working hard at something. I mean, we have the Eight of Wands and we have the Eight of Pentacles. It's like, all right, I'm not there yet. I'm working really diligently. I'm getting my ducks in a row. It's like an apprentice kind of energy. But here, you're working really hard, but you're taking a calculated risk, going on uncharted territory, on a new path. At the end of the day, this is what you're deciding to do. You're focusing on your future. This is the thing here. Uranus is all about, the Fool is a Uranus energy. It's all about the future and taking a calculated risk. Now, the Moon energy is feeling something underneath the surface in private that you're not revealing. So there is a secretive element about this. And we have the Four of Swords, which is taking a time out, thinking about the lessons of something and figuring out how exactly you're going to move forward, and realizing that you need to put these 10 of Wands down, right? 10 of Wands is a hard energy. It's Saturn and Sagittarius. So you guys are all about moving forward with integrity, ruled by Jupiter, luck and expansion, right? But Saturn, it becomes too thick and heavy, it becomes just too heavy, too much, and you just have to put it down. But I feel like for a lot of you, while you're working on a relationship, or while your partner's working on this relationship, there are these thoughts with the Fool and the Moon here and the Four of Swords about moving forward in a different direction and releasing it until finally there is an end to this energy. And I know you guys are not going to like that I'm saying that, but that's what I'm getting here. I'm sorry. That is what I'm getting. I feel like somebody's fear, just like this, the runner and the codependent, this issue with intimacy is a true problem with this relationship here that I'm seeing. All right, so that's for that, but let me just pull a couple of energies for those of you who are single. I feel like that's for those of you who've been in a relationship. You were in a very serious relationship. Things got really uncomfortable. You guys ended the relationship as a runner, intimacy issues, you're hanging out with your friends, you still have fire in your belly to get into a relationship, you're trying to figure out what works for you, what doesn't work for you, changing your mindset, opening yourself up to a new energy. Let's see what we get for this one here. Okay, Ten of Coins, very nice. Ten of Coins is one of the cards of marriage, deepening of commitment and connection. Three of Cards is a celebratory energy, beautiful. Celebrating with your loved ones, celebrating with your friends and family about this level of foundation, right? Because it's Mercury in Cancer. So it's really nice. Like your pragmatic everyday is just going to be filled with love and emotion and communication. Really good. We have the Five of Cups. Why? Hold on. The Justice energy. All right. So within this connection, those of you who are entering into this new relationship, you might have just entered into it. The Five of Cups has to do with feeling disappointed and disillusioned and not being able to let go of something from the past. But then we have the Justice card, which is a Libra energy, which also has to do with marriage type of relationship. It also has to do with what's fair, what's not fair. It's a Venus energy. It's beautiful. But I feel like a lot of you are going to be getting into a new relationship, but with this Five of Cups, you still have the residue of this relationship on your soul, and you're going to just need to give it time and actually try to give this person a good chance, because that is going to help with your healing. Because if this person is a runner and they cannot recognize that within themselves, there's no sense in going back to that. You can only fix yourself. You can't fix anybody else. So even though you're feeling this missing, you know, really hear the energy, and it's just the fact that it's like slipped in the third space between Ten of Coins, Three of Cups, and the Justice energy, which is about, you know, an equitable relationship, fair, and all of that. You're still going to be having some sort of memory, okay, that you haven't fully washed off your soul. You might know they're not good for you. You can talk, you can reason it out all day long, but the bottom line is, you still feel this way. That is what I have for you, my friends. I hope this was helpful or validating in some way. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.